see how fast we go up. Are we faster today? Are we faster? Let's see. Good evening. Are we on? Are we on? I don't think we're on. Hey there, everybody. I guess we are on. It says I'm not on here. So let me figure this out here. Good. Okay. All right. We are on. Why is mine not on? Hello, everybody. How is it going? Let's see here. Hello from Ontario, Canada. I am on. I am not on my page. So let me get some. I am. Okay, there it is. Now it's working. Beautiful. Wonderful. Virginia Ann from Virginia. How is it going tonight? Wade from Alabama. Hello. Hello. Belinda from Alaska. Thank you for being on tonight. Tom, welcome. Now they're rolling in. Beautiful. Much easier this way. Different software. Sean, good evening from the Sioux. So, Rosemary, hello. Alexa from Elkhart, Indiana. Welcome. Lucy Lacey, hello. Jersey. Laura from the high desert. Welcome. Jamie from Cocoa Beach, Florida. Not far away. I love it. Hello, Shannon from Wilmington, North Carolina. Hello, hello, hello. Lucy from South Australia. Hello. Very nice. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Hi there. Patty from SoCal. Charlotte from Mississippi. Belinda, thank you for always watching. I appreciate it. Katrina from Oshawa. Oshawa, very cool. Oshawa, Ontario. Christina, Sarasota, Florida. Hello, Desiree. Mary in Arizona. Welcome from Louisiana. Very nice. Beautiful. I love it. Janet from Minnesota. I'm looking very blue tonight. I am, but a good blue. Positive blue. How about that? Positive blue. Hello, Nicole. How are you? Welcome. Awesome. People are jumping on tonight. New software tonight. First time trying it out. Let's see how everything goes. Always upgrading the experience and bringing more value to everybody. That is every day's purpose. Bring more and more value. So, welcome everybody. How are you doing out there? Dr. Jason Dean, Revolution Network, your source for health, freedom, and knowledge. Welcome to the show. How was your weekend? So I will be honest, and I will fully admit, I was somewhat excited about today's press conference, but then not super excited because I know how sometimes things work and they get you all amped up for something. And so I'll go into that in a second. But first, let me try and show you all of this stuff. And let me see if this comes through in the new software. But here we go. Let's give it a shot on the very opening statement of President Trump in his presser today.
It's good to see you all. Hope you had a great weekend at your convention. Good to see you all. Hope you had a great weekend at your convention. It's good to see you all. Hope you had a great weekend at your convention.
Now, yes, I did play that a couple different times. If you heard him say, I hope you all had a great weekend at your convention. The best part, was there no sound on that? I'll work on that, okay? Is there no sound, really? Oh, that's a bummer. I guess I got to fix that. Okay. So it's low volume. I'll work on that, okay? Anyway, the whole point was he said, welcome. I hope you had a good weekend at your convention. So he is totally master trolling them. He is just like destroying them. He catches them on everything. What he does, you could barely hear. Okay, well, I'll work on that. Okay. Some people heard it, some people didn't. I'll work on the volume here. Okay. So anyway, he hooks you. He hooks you, right? Pulls you in and then punches you in the face. That's what he's doing to all the liberals. Okay. That's what he's doing to all the liberals. Now, what he was doing, I'm going to try one more video and see if it works for you guys. Okay. I'm going to try one more video. Let me see if I can do this one. All right. And you let me know if this one goes through or not. Okay. I'm going to try this one.
Of infectious diseases at Vanderbilt University. It's not a vaccine, doctor. It is a treatment. What do you think of it?
Well, John, my heart hopes that it's right, but my brain is more cautious than the enthusiasm that we've heard. The data, although it's a large amount of data, is really grade C data. It's not critically done. I wish they had started to use the plasma in a controlled trial with placebos. We don't really know how effective it is.
So let me explain to what he's saying. So I hope that sound was better. If not, I'll work on that. Okay. Guys, I'm all the way up on my volume on my end. So some people are hearing it, some people are not. Check your volume and I'll work on that later on. Okay. No big deal. The rest of it, I don't have to do as much volume the rest of the way. Anyway, this is the kicker. So I want to explain something to you what's happening right now. Okay. I don't love what's going on with him trickling information out all the time. I really don't. Okay. I'm like you guys. I want everything now. I agree. All right. I'm the same way. You're not going to get everything now. Now, the other thing is, let me tell you about President Trump's marketing. Okay. He says big things. He'll always go way up here and then he'll not deliver, but he'll give you stuff here. If he doesn't go way out here, he's not going to get the attention he wants. Right now is he wants every single person's attention imaginable. All right. That is his goal. Now, let me slip into, I wrote a post right afterwards that said I was a bit unimpressed, but that's probably because I don't have a ton of respect, if any, for the FDA. Why do I not have a ton of respect for the FDA? The FDA is part of the pharma cartel drug war arm, whatever you want to call it. Big pharma, big medicine, big drug. Destroy America. That's what it is. It's called the Food and Drug Administration. They approve things that are not food. They approve drugs like left and right. And on top of that, they fast track the approval of drugs that are damaging and harmful to human health. Right? So we call it the Fear and Drug Administration. That's what we call it. All right. Fear and Drug Administration, amongst many other things. Now, let me get a little background on the FDA. You know, it's very common. So I actually have a supplement here. Okay. A little supplement here. And I think it says it on here. It is this product, let's see, is not somewhere it says it. The product is basically not approved by the FDA it's not regulated by the FDA. Your supplements, right? Your supplements are not regulated by the FDA. Why? Because they only want to put drugs in people's faces. That is their goal. All right. Now, if you go all the way back to the beginning of the FDA, there was this amazing medical doctor. His name was Dr. Harvey Wiley. All right. There's actually a movie documentary out that I have to watch first. Then I'll let you guys know how it is. All right. Dr. Harvey Wiley was I believe, the first FDA commissioner, okay? And he did not want things like white flour on the market. He did not want white flour being sold to consumers over state lines. So he put his foot down. He stopped it. Do you know what they did? All the big corporations that create all this junk, they had him politically fired and removed from the FDA. He was actually trying to do a good job for the American people. He was trying to have real things go through the FDA. He wanted to actually be a good regulatory board for safety for the American people. They got rid of him. Shocker, right? So ever since then, the FDA has literally just been the, I guess you would call it, it's not even approver. I would call it the marketing arm of the drug cartel of Big Pharma, right? So what does the NIH do? The NIH does things like they do all the research on it, and then you have Big Pharma who's producing it all, making big profits, and then the FDA pushes stuff through, right? Not only pushes stuff through, they fast track things through. They get things out to market much faster than it ever should be. And that's one of the big, big problems. Now, what's the deal with this plasma? All right. It's basically a healing modality, plasma. Now, it is a therapeutic technically, because I mean, you're taking blood from somebody else who had COVID. You have antibodies in there. It's going through and it will clean up. Now, I will say that I've read some excerpts where there have been people who started on it, and within 7 days, boom, results. 7 days, boom, results. All right. So now, again, not a lot of respect for the FDA. I personally want it done like right away from the healthcare standpoint, but that's not going to happen, guys. You know that's not going to happen. That's not how it's worked. However, he also dropped a little information on what is called right to try. So what I think the president is actually doing, which there are laws in place that if you actually have a cure or you have a therapy, they're not going to go off mandating vaccines. So you got to weigh the options here. Now, I don't love it because I just want them to drop the bomb from a healthcare standpoint. However, I also know how the game is played. So I always talk to you guys about optics, right? This is optics. So he is not saying vaccine. I didn't watch the full presser. I watched parts of it, and I don't think he said anything about vaccines. If I'm incorrect, let me know. But I don't think he said anything about vaccines, which is obviously a very good thing. They're doing the plasma first, and then they talked about right to try. All right. Now, what do they mean by that? Well, your ability to write and try stuff, because guess what? At the end of the day, doctors and pharmaceutical companies do not own you. They own you at all, right? So you have a right to try technically whatever you'd like to try. And that is the long game here. If we're going towards therapies, that is the long game. So if he had I think if he had dropped the hydroxychloroquine today on everybody, I think unfortunately he's still going to run into problems with possibly getting elected, even though I know everyone's going to say, well, everyone wants it, all conservatives. That's not necessarily true. You have to realize there's still a lot of people out there who are not awake, right? There's still even Trump's base who want a full-blown vaccination. So he's got to be very cautious on how he treads. And I will tell you, possibly the biggest topic outside of abortion is going to be vaccines. It just is. It's that hot of a topic, because I will tell you, even still, most of conservatives, Trump supporters, still believe that vaccines have cured everything on the planet, and we would not be where we are if we had not had vaccines, even though that is falsely dead True. So I think long game is he gets in the right to try, and then he gets the hydroxychloroquine, which would be over the counter, which might even be cheaper now because he's doing this so cheap, this super cheap pharmaceutical drug manufacturing in the US. I mean, we are bringing energy, not only just like actual manpower, right? But we are bringing like literally, whether it's oil and natural gas, whether it's other natural resources, whether it's actual people, like the energy of America, the engine of America is going to be running like crazy over the next 4 years as long as he is elected, right? He is literally building this thing behind the scenes. Now, I want to show you this thing right here. I'm going to bring this up for you, okay? Let's see. Let me get used to this. Okay. We have there now. This was actually today, or I'm sorry, this was August 4th, but they showed it again today. There are now 53 studies that showed the positive results of hydroxychloroquine in COVID infections. There are 14 global studies that show neutral or negative results, and 10 of them were patients in very late stages of COVID-19 where no antiviral drug can be expected to have much effort. Of the remaining 4 studies, 2, and it goes on to the next one, okay? 2 come from the same University of Minnesota author. The other 2 are from faulty Brazil paper, which should be retracted, okay? I am fighting for a treatment that the data fully supports, but which, for reasons having nothing to do with correct understanding of the science, have been pushed to the sidelines, okay? As a result, tens of thousands of patients of COVID are dying unnecessarily. Fortunately, the situation can be reversed easily, quickly. Now, I want to show you this. This is literally a battle back and forth between the president and the cabal, as you know. All right. That's what it is. It's a complete battle over and over and over again. Now, will he get hydroxychloroquine? I think he will ultimately. I think that's the end game. Now, the other interesting thing is at the very end of it, I'm not going to play the video just in case there's sound problems, okay? The very end of it, the FDA officials were asked if they were, let's see, coerced into what they were saying or doing. Okay, were they coerced? Were they coerced into this decision? This is hilarious. It does not matter what the president does, even if you hated the president, or let's say you were just neutral. Say you didn't care either way. Say you were down the middle. If you're a neutral, down the middle individual, you will even say, no matter what he says, they will come at and after him, right? So he is literally helping put things in place to create a result, to create help. He's literally trying to help the country without having to go like, crazy, and they will still fight back. They will push back against him. They hate everything he does. So now, instead of like, oh, hey, we have another option, we have another thing we can try. The Vanderbilt doctor hates it, right? Because it's not a vaccine. We don't have enough peer-reviewed studies. You've heard my opinions on peer-reviewed studies. And that, by the way, Vanderbilt University. Who do you think's behind all of that? Yeah, exactly. So this is all about them hating the president of the United States and doing everything they can. Just like when he said, I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend convention. He literally knows that every single time he goes into a press briefing, he is going to be, it's like going into the viper's den, going into a bunch of snakes. That's what he's doing every single time. I mean, come on, even the Rose Garden remodel that Melania had set up, because I think she wants some renewing of things, right? Well, she's also going to be giving her speech from there. Even Melania, who had it redone, they found something to attack. If you look along the sides of the rose garden, there's like diagonals, right? Diagonals. So all the liberals went crazy and said, "Oh my gosh, she." If you look at it closely, it says KKK. It says, first of all, they're diagonals. They're not KK. Second of all, it's actually the same exact diagonal design that Jackie Kennedy had. Same thing. If you actually go back and look at what she had, the same diagonal design. Now, she had some tulips and different colored flowers, and so they attacked Melania on that. They said, "Oh, they're attacking because it went from really beautiful colors to like bland nothing, a little bit of white." But this is the phenomenal part. Like, by the way, I am no gardener necessarily. I like gardening, but I'm not that good at it. Like, I mean, I total novice, right? So they did not realize that even though there's not a lot of color and blooming right now, did they not understand that, you know, flowers do bloom, and over a period of time, the color will actually come out and it will look even better than it did. Like really, like, come on. This is how much they will reach and stretch, okay, for something to try to destroy the president on. Now, I'm going to go deeper into this because what I want to show you guys is something very fascinating. I find it fascinating, at least, is regarding not only the vaccine, but all of the pharmaceutical / chemical agricultural companies in general. Now, I want you to follow me on something here. Let me go to the actual the work here, paperwork here. Let me see. Okay, this is the Twitter feed. I told you guys very early on, okay, very early on, that I wanted you to follow somebody, okay? This is called Ethical Skeptic. Now, my banner's in the way, so I'll have to fix that later. I'm messing with this software. I'm making it better as I go, okay? The very top line, you can see part of it, but basically it says, when you hold a position of science authority and compel a nation to follow specific advocacy, inchoate activating minions to suppress dissent, and if in this process are incorrect and cause class harm, you are liable for class action recourse. Lessons for the future. Now, I'm going to scroll down here because there's something very fascinating about this. Class action / oppression. Human rights crime. Now, this is actually malice and oppression in the name of skepticism and science. I want you to actually, I'm going to actually open this, okay? What this opens up to is malice and oppression in the name of skepticism and science. Okay, the Dwayne Johnson versus Monsanto case did not simply provide precedent for pursuit of Monsanto over claims regarding harm caused by its products. As well, it established a court litmus regarding actions in the name of science, which are generated from malice and as well seek oppression upon a target populace or group of citizens. Watch out, fake skeptics. Your targeting of citizens may well fit the court's definition of malice, and your advocacy actions those of oppression, especially under a context of negligence and when posed falsely in the name of science. This was the actual verdict. Now, what's happening here? I'm going to explain this to you in 1 second, okay? You're going, Dr. Dean, what are you getting at? What is it? What do you mean? What are you getting? Now, what is, and I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly, but I believe it's inchoate or inchoate offense. A type of crime completed by taking a punishable step towards the commission of another crime. The basic inchoate offenses are attempt, solicitation, and conspiracy. The crime allegedly intended is called the target offense. Except for conspiracy, inchoate offenses merge into the target crime. David Snyder out there is a attorney. He says, what am I getting at? What I'm getting at is they already lost a court case. It was Dwayne Johnson with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., right? They lost, Monsanto Bayer lost the case on glyphosate, all right? Meaning glyphosate, I believe in his case it was lymphoma. I believe it was. Off the top of my head, I haven't looked at it in a long period of time. Originally, he won some insane amount of money, okay? Insane. They appealed, obviously, but then they won the appeal, okay? So Dwayne Johnson got, I want to say they end up settling at like 80-some million or something like that. I don't remember the number. What I'm getting at is federal and state courts do allow this precedence. Now, I'm going on a longer marathon here for something, okay? Longer marathon. What am I getting at? There are over 15,000, last time I checked, 15,000 lawsuits in play over the Monsanto glyphosate issue. All right? Now, it goes deeper. What if, as a precedence, these cases get lost across the board? Now, I'm not so much worried about bankrupting Monsanto because I don't necessarily see, all right, I don't necessarily see them going out of business. They have billions of dollars waiting for lawsuits. They have it covered. I get it, right? However, what I do see is, what if this turns into a considered crime against humanity? And that's what Ethical Skeptic was talking about, that it would be considered a crime against humanity. That's literally what they said in this thing. Class action or oppression, parentheses, human rights crime. So, if Monsanto is busted for a crime against humanity, okay? I'm sounding twangy. I don't know. Maybe some people it is. Some people, everyone else says it's fine. All right. If it's a crime against humanity, they will nail them for a crime against humanity. Now, also, I'm getting somewhere here. Keep in mind, RFK Jr. dropped that interview with Dr. Ron Paul talking about how he knew, right? He knew that the CIA helped kill his dad and his uncle. All right, it is a crime against humanity. Hold on, but it gets better. RFK Jr. is the one who has beat them all, right? Now, RFK Jr. is also tied to President Trump. Now, it may not seem like it, but keep in mind, RFK Jr.'s nephew, who passed away, is JFK Jr. JFK Jr. was close personal friends with then Donald J. Trump, who is now President Donald J. Trump. So, if we can get Monsanto / Bayer glyphosate on a crime against humanity, we then take it forward, because that's right, RFK Jr. is also suing the hell out of about 74 vaccine companies. Well, what chemical just happens to be not only sprayed on the food, but also in the vaccines? Oh, that's right. Wait a second. In the vaccines, not only do you actually have glyphosate in the vaccine, it's been found, but also the other thing you have in vaccines is you have genetically modified organisms. Genetically modified organisms are also sprayed with glyphosate. You have Bayer Monsanto's glyphosate product in the vaccine that could be busted for crimes against humanity, because they're going to lose these lawsuits because the precedence has already been set. RFK Jr. won the case, and he's going to win the cases. And on top of that, he's suing the vaccine companies behind the scenes. So, if you recall, going back to before Donald Trump was president, he was tweeting out like crazy that he knew the vaccines were causing autism. He knew the vaccines were damaging children. Is a long play on this. And by the way, if you really look at history, if you watch history and know that history repeats itself, you'll know that in Nazi Germany, they also sprayed and they injected toxic chemicals via IG Farben. Oh, that's right. By the way, welcome to Repeated History. Monsanto Bayer is actually IG Farben. It's the same damn company. It was called Operation Paperclip. When they had their tribunals, the Nuremberg trials, they let him get away. You may not have known that. They let most of them get away, just like Hitler got away. He went to Argentina, folks. He went to Argentina. Why do you think there's also a place in Antarctica that everyone goes to? Operation Paperclip, they took the scientists, the Nazi scientists. This is Jim Mars, guys. This is the Fourth Reich. America is the Fourth Reich. All right? Operation Paperclip. They got pulled out the side or back door at the Nuremberg trials. Right? Why do you think whenever they talk about vaccines, they talk about the Nuremberg trials and violating the Nuremberg Code? Because that's what happened during the Nuremberg trial. That's what happened after World War II. That's what happened with the Nazis. The Nazis got away, and then George Bush's CIA and Prescott Bush's CIA, going all the way back, they hired the Nazi side. The Bushes were Nazis, folks. Do you see how this lines up? The Bushes were, all of them were Nazis. Then they brought them over from Germany. Some went to Argentina. The other ones came over to America, and guess what? They set up shop in places like Monsanto Bayer, the FDA, the NIH, you name it. It's history repeating itself. However, if you can prove that Dwayne Johnson had lymphoma from glyphosate, which Robert F. Kennedy Jr. did. Oh, and by the way, wasn't it George H.W. Bush, via order from Prescott Bush, that killed, oh, that's right, that pulled the trigger, not literally, but figuratively, on the assassination of JFK? RFK Jr. proves that glyphosate causes cancer. And then fast forward glyphosate is in the vaccines, GMOs with glyphosate in the vaccines, as well as a million other chemicals. We are literally going into, my hope, obviously, we are going into the next phase of the Nuremberg trials. This time, tribunals, hopefully, to take down the deep state cabal for the final time and to restore the American Republic. Because guess what? We haven't been the American Republic since 1871. We thought we were later on, but we were not, because the Federal Reserve kept us enslaved. The Federal Reserve Act. We are literally watching history repeat itself in the form of what was the hold on, let me look this up. What was the it wasn't, what was the injection that the Nazis used to kill people? I forgot what it's called. Like, it was some weird word. If you guys remember it, let me tell me what it is. Sorry guys, I didn't plan on using this. What was it called? They actually injected, if somebody gets it, shout it out. They injected something into their victims. I can't think of it right now. And IT department created it. They did use gas, but they used something else as well. And I'm not thinking the name of it, but I want to remember what it is. Because Zyklon B, boom, Zyklon B. What is Zyklon B? Let's see. Zyklon B. I'm gonna read it out loud. Was a trade name of a cyanide-based pesticide. Oh, look at that. A pesticide. Imagine that. They used Zyklon B, which was a pesticide, invented in Germany in the early 1920s. It consisted of hydrogen cyanide, or prussic acid, as well as a cautionary eye irritant and one of the several absorbents, such as diatomaceous earths. That's interesting. The product is notorious for its use by Nazi Germany during the Holocaust to murder approximately 1.1 million people in gas chambers. They also had an injectable as well, I believe. I don't remember what that one was, but Zyklon B pops up, okay? Phenol, okay, some people, so Zyklon B and phenol. Guys, this is what you're seeing history repeat itself. Sorry to keep going over it, but like, that's what you're looking at. You're looking at history repeating itself. Okay, moving on. Did everyone understand that? Did they get that? Because when I saw this today regarding the ethical skeptic on Twitter say something about this, I knew I had to bring it up because I feel like we're going through this piece of history again. And we all talk about tribunals and, oh, they're really going to have tribunals. Well, they had them. They've had them several times, but we are literally seeing the swing back around of the same damn company, Monsanto Bayer, a spinoff of IG Farben. These companies over, I mean, did you know Adidas, by the way, was a former Nazi company? Adidas, founded by Nazis. You know, Ford Motor Company, not the greatest people in the world. All right. You guys have to go look this stuff up. History is repeating itself. Now, we have to put a stop now to this repeating again throughout history. Right? This is what they do. Guys, if the audio is breaking up, it's your feed. My audio levels are pretty good here. So that's what is going on. Now, I want to bring you to one last thing before I show you a couple articles, or one article, is I have read now from two sources. I'm going to look for deeper sources. I've read from two sources that in the next stimulus, fourth stimulus, third or fourth. I have to look it up. All right. Third or fourth stimulus that there could be a U.S. note. Now, what do I mean by U.S. note? Not a U.S. dollar, not a USD, but a USN. There could be a U.S. note in the next stimulus. Okay. I don't have full details on it yet. That's what I've now read and heard twice. All right. U.S. note could be in the next stimulus, which could be setting up for the reset. Now, I've read a lot of things on the reset. I've read the global reset. I've heard a national only reset. Either way, I'm telling you right now, we're having a changing of the guard behind the scenes, and we're going to have a very restored America from a workforce, energy, manufacturing standpoint, which I think you guys have heard many times. Now, I want to show you this headline right here. So, 2020 Republican National Convention schedule features President Trump, First Lady Melania, Vice President Pence. Down here, George Soros is buying district attorneys.
Criminals are being released.
Let me kill that. I don't want that playing. Okay. He's buying district attorneys across America. Violent criminals were released back into the streets in the cities across America. This all thanks to district attorneys who were bought and paid for by George Soros. Okay, now you can go watch that video. I'm not going to do it now, especially with the volume. I'll play with the volume. Okay, but what I really wanted to show you was this right here. 2020 RNC features President Trump, First Lady Melania, Vice President Pence. I believe there are also being people added to it. Now, one of the cool things about this, is that I believe Kimberly Klacik, I heard before I came on, I had to go double check. I heard that Kimberly Klacik, the black woman from Baltimore who did the viral video of her walking through the streets of Baltimore, she supposedly is speaking tomorrow night. All right, now that could be very fascinating. She might blow might blow the roof off the place. Like, I don't even know all the details about this because it's changed so much, but she is supposedly speaking tomorrow night, and it's going to be mind-blowing. She's going to get, I'm telling you, if you guys thought the DNC was like terrible from a production standpoint, watch to see the exact opposite starting tomorrow night. I guarantee you, they're going to blow the roof off of this convention. As in, the production is going to be through the roof. The quality is going to be through the roof. They probably sparing no expense to make sure this goes off absolutely 100% correct. And on top of that, I also read that President Trump is speaking possibly every single night at 10 o'clock. So we might have some only half-hour shows. I might have to change some scheduling of stuff if he's going to do that, because I had Charlie Ward on this Wednesday night. So if the president's speaking every night at 10 o'clock, yeah, I probably will change up some timing. Just be aware, okay? Okay, good. All right, guys. I'm going to end a little early tonight because I'm going to get some sleep. But if Woody has questions, how many people have some questions out there? Fire me over your questions. I'll answer a couple more. I'll answer questions for a little bit, and then we'll call it a night. What kind of questions do we have? Yeah, good, Dawn. I agree. When are we going to sleep this week? I don't know, Dawn. I don't know. I have the same problem as you. I don't think we're going to be able to sleep. Do I ever think the Democrats are going to implement NESARA? No, I do not. I think they're going for full-blown communism is what they're going for. Okay? You want to hear more about the note? I will find out more, Chris. I don't know more about it yet. I just read that, okay? Charlie Freak is coming, guys. I just talked to Charlie again today. He is coming. Charlie Freak is coming. David Icke is tomorrow, guys. Okay. I don't know anything about Cohen's book. I don't care. Hollow Earth. There is a possibility of a hollow Earth. Yes, I can believe hollow Earth before flat Earth. How did they alter the weather in Iowa? Via HARP. They send out frequencies, scalar energy frequencies, and they manipulate the air. I've heard about the book called 137. No, Patricia, let me know about it. Let's see here. Best wallet and ledger. Best wallet and ledger is here. I have two of them. Would you guys like me to show you the best wallets and ledgers that I like? Okay, I have two. Here you go. I have the light. Okay. I have this one right here is the Ledger Nano X. All right. It's hard to see. Ledger Nano X. This one is a Ledger Nano S. I have two. All right. That is the best ones that I found. All right. Good. Some people are saying flat Earth is common sense. It's not that common sense. Charlie Freak is a flat Earth. I'm not opposed to flat Earth. Guy, this is why I don't study flat Earth, because it doesn't really matter. Flat Earth, hollow Earth, guess what? Your day is still going out the same. I study the other stuff because it actually affects me. Flat Earth doesn't affect me. Not negatively that I know of. My opinion on Jason Q's and other posting on the position of the moon. I love the moon stuff. Yes. Jason Q should be around soon. I have to schedule him. He's ready to schedule. Let's talk about aliens. I'll talk about aliens this week, Mayra. Let's see. I didn't see Connie's question, so I can't respond to Connie because I did not see it, and I don't want to go all the way back through and look for it while I'm missing other questions. So, Connie, if you have a question, you can re-ask, and I'll see what it is. All right. Yes, tomorrow at noon Eastern, I have David Icke. Everyone wants aliens, extraterrestrials. That's interesting. The fires in California, direct energy weapons, guys. Right. Ted Nugent, we're just setting up with the assistant. That shouldn't be a problem. It'll probably be within the month or so. It won't be like right away. I've had him on before. You can go look at that one. I had him on an audio. I don't know who John F. Kennedy Jr. is on Twitter. No idea. Ivermectin, I don't know a lot about it. I don't study drugs, guys. So if you have, I can go look it up. I mean, but it doesn't, I don't study drugs all day long. So I have to go look it up. If Connie had a message, I didn't see it. Yes, there are two hurricanes that are about to collide. One in 2020. And yes, they do steer weather. Did I see the photos from Mars? I saw the 4K photos. Is that what you mean? Someone smokes weed. Good for you. All right. Okay. Estrogen dominance. We have to balance your hormones out. I don't know about the Marina Abramovich being Ghislaine's brother. Not sure. Oh, ivermectin is a horse dewormer? Okay. So it's parasite killer. I think my wife's talked about that before, but I haven't looked it up. So, let's see. If people are looking for health help, it's noblepatriothealth.com, and the children's line is noblepatriotkids.com. I think coffee enemas are great. I do. I bought a coffee enema bucket because I'll probably be starting as well. We've done them in our office for probably 10 years. Not in our office, but we send patients home to do them. Let's see. Yes, I saw Bevelyn Beatty getting arrested. I was going to show you tonight, but I didn't have time. Talk about Antarctica. I might have to do some side shows where they're just focused on a particular topic, because I can't do Antarctica. I can't do a lot of shows on a full thing unless I do a separate show. So like Antarctica, guys, I could never do Antarctica justice in a segment of this show within an hour because there's so much information. So I would literally have to create a whole thing. So maybe I create the Noble Patriot Report and then I start doing that. But then I would probably have to charge a little bit for it because quite honestly, at the end of the day, I really do only have so much time left in the week. And after a while, it costs to produce this stuff because it's time and it's energy and it's equipment and everything else. So, but I could start doing probably like a half hour thing or an hour thing on just one on top of what I'm already doing here. So some people say they pay. And oh, by the way, so someone posted the other day saying that if you charge for something, Q said no one would profit off it. Guys, I'm not a Q decoder. I've said that from the beginning. I've never been a Q decoder. I just follow Q and I tell you what I think regarding what they're saying and what the Q people are saying. So you guys are okay with the membership. So what I'll do is I'll work on the Noble Patriot Report, which would probably be a weekly report. And then I'll put in it maybe some half hour or hour kind of documentaries of the stuff that I study so that it's just focused on that particular thing. Okay. I'll run that. Is that cool with everybody? You guys want that? It would be super cheap. I'm not looking for a lot. It's just enough to cover expenses and everything else that require, because it is time. That means I'll have to carve out some more time in my week to get that stuff done while I'm also helping patients. So, all right, good. Let's see. Any other questions? Start a subscription. Okay. Got it. Okay. I will do that. I will work on that. All right. I don't know who Alpha Awakened. Who is Wrangle Star? Send me over a link on that. No on the membership. Okay. Okay. Oh, Kelsey, good one. I like the way you're thinking, Kelsey. That's a good one. Free membership for patients. I think it's funny how some people would love a membership and then some people are like, no, don't charge for a membership. You do know that we live in an economic world, right? You do know there's only so much time in a given day in a given week, right? Like after a certain while, like time does require some stuff, and I'm happy to do this stuff. But at the end of the day, like, you know, I do have a whole bunch of stuff going on. So there would be some costs involved in having to do all that stuff. So either way, I will work on it because I want to provide you guys a ton of value. Okay. Flat Earth. I answered about Flat Earth. The audio is not on my end. The audio is on whatever end that you guys are on. Okay. Let's see. Best zinc to take, probably like a zinc liver chelate. Ike is at noon Eastern tomorrow. Okay. I have 1 or 2 minutes left and then I'm calling it. Okay. Why are they targeting California? Because California is an insane communist country. Okay. That's why. They will not allow that state to go red if they have anything to do about it. Okay. Is there a second wave coming? You already had a second wave. That's what we're in. All right. Let's see. Student loans, pay them for the time being. Guys, no matter what they do, if they have a debt jubilee or not, you have to pay your bills until they decide to wipe them away. If they do wipe them away, okay? Pay your bills. I've been asked that question so many times. Hey, I would love my student loan debt wiped away too, but until then, I'm paying them. Okay. If you guys have questions for David Icke tomorrow, I'll take a couple of those. By the way, here we go. I'm going to finish with this as you guys ask more stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, heads up. I will probably not ask David Icke about President Trump. David Icke does not like President Trump. David Icke believes that Trump is another puppet. Is he right? Maybe, maybe not. We don't fully know. We've talked about this. But my goal with David Icke is, my goal with him, and I may not even talk about COVID, because what more do you need? He's already talked about it a million times on YouTube, right? So one of my goals is I don't really want to dive down the same rabbit holes with him that everyone else has done. I would actually like to talk to him about some stuff that not everyone else does know. If you've read The Biggest Secret, that's a lot to confront. The Biggest Secret, and I believe The Biggest Secret is probably 95+% accurate. I don't want to dive down the same rabbit holes. So if you are looking for COVID and President Trump tomorrow on the show, you will probably not get that. All right. Because I really don't feel like going down those paths with him. And I want to actually keep it a very positive interview. I don't want it to be doom and gloom from David Icke. That is not the intention. All right. So, okay. I love trolls. They're so funny. So we're going to talk about real stuff, how this world is controlled, probably. We'll talk about some of that, and then we'll talk probably about consciousness, because I think he really nails it on a lot of consciousness stuff, and we're probably on similar pages. Maybe not specifically the same exact page, but we both know the correct way to help fix this planet. So just so you know, that's the case. And I will tell everybody, my job as an interview person, this is how I take my job, I should say. The way I interview people is I actually like to try to find questions, and I'll get some older stuff out of them because obviously everyone wants to hear that. But I like to try to find questions that not everyone asks. I like to find things that pull up new information. You can go watch 50 David Icke videos on YouTube right now about the same thing. You can go to London Real, watch, and London Real, Brian Rose is phenomenal, but it's the same questions, guys. It's the same questions he's always gotten. How much more do you need on the pandemic? How much more do you need on the pandemic? I mean, we already know what it is. So I'm going to work on good stuff with him. And then also, by the way, I may not even agree with every single person I have on the show. That's the other thing. If you're looking for someone that just like agrees with everybody across the board, not going to happen. Like I already know with Charlie Freak, there's a couple of things we don't agree on, but he's still an awesome person. He's phenomenal. He's really good at what he does. He's really cool. And I appreciate everything he's doing because he's a positive light in this world. Doesn't mean we have to agree on everything, okay? So that is the goal. David Icke tomorrow, 12 Eastern. Dr. Charlie Ward is Wednesday at 9:30 right now, but let's see what the president does and we'll figure something out. And then Charlie Freak might actually come on this week as well. We will see. So guys, I hope that helps. I hope you guys are awesome. I hope this was value. I hope you are preparing and getting ready for everything. And do me a favor, go out and serve and help somebody. I love you all. Noble Patriots, you rock. I will talk to you tomorrow. See you at noon with David Icke. Dr. Jason Dean, Revolution Network, signing off.